welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Kat and we're doing 3 looks with the Merry Christmas palette from Oden's Eye. I recently did a 3 looks with the Christmas Eve palette, which I will try and remember to link up in the eye here if you want to go and see that. But today we are working with the Merry Christmas palette. This is what she looks like. If you haven't seen her before, a gorgeous mix of greens, reds, sort of tealy tones. It's just a really beautiful palette that definitely does like encapsulate Christmas as a color story. So yeah, I created 3 looks for you today. I did this like green, red, brown wing. I did a like matte kind of smoky green look, and I did a red smoky cut crease as well. So if you would like to see me create these looks and give you my thoughts and feelings about this palette, definitely keep on watching. Everything used on my face will be listed in the description box below as well. Okay, cool. Let's get into it. Okay, hello, welcome to look number 1. Let's get this show on the road. I think I want to do something like smoky and warm, and like the reds and the pinks kind of vibe is what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna kind of be playing with like this sort of section here. Yeah, that is what I'm thinking. Okay, we're gonna start with the shade Gingerbread, and I'm just gonna put this all through the crease, just like quite blown out. I'm just gonna really blow and smoke this out. This is like the base shade. And this is quite it's very like orangey brown. Like it's not quite brown, but it's not quite orange. It's just somewhere in the middle. It's such a lovely tone. I've been wearing this most days, like just like all across the lid, blown out with the shade Snowman over the top. That has been really like a really nice look. Something very easy for every day. And then I'm also gonna bring that on the lower lash line too. Smoke this out nice and heavily. And now I'm gonna go into the shade Poinsettia, I think that's called, I'm not sure, but we are gonna pop that all in the outer corner and bring that through as well. So we're gonna add some red into this. When I used this shade in my first impressions, it went quite like pinky purpley, but I do feel like actually on the lid there it is very like true, it is very red. Again, bringing that onto the lower lash line, and then I'm going to take my first brush and blend it out. And finally I'm going to go into the shade Hot Choco, which is this one down here, and oh no, Hot Cocoa, apologies. And that is going to be going in the very outer corners on both my lid and my lower lash line, just to really add some intense depth out here. So I'm going to build it up with this little pencil brush, and then I'll blend it out with my other brushes. That is such a nice shade, oh my god. Then back with the brush that I used with the brighter red, just to blend that shade out a little bit. And then back again with my big brush. Those tones are so pretty, look at that. I think that looks so good. You definitely have a few directions you could go with the shimmers at this point, and I'm kind of debating what I want to do, because I could definitely pull in like a shade like Jingle Bell or something if I want something super contrasty, or this one down here which is called Center Star, like that would be super contrasty, or could go monochromatic and do Little Star, or bring in some pink with that one. Like there's a lot to choose from, and I don't really know which direction I want to go in with. I think I maybe want to do Little Star and then put this shade on the lower lash line and bring that out down there, and then maybe I'll put like Snowman in the inner corners or something like that. That's sort of what I'm thinking. We're gonna do a half cut crease just because I feel like that's gonna be, I just think that works best for this kind of shape that I've got going on, like the rounded kind of shape. I like to do a half cut crease with that. So I'm taking some of my NYX glitter primer and I'm just gonna create a half cut crease shape with this. And then I'm gonna go into Little Star, just this shade here, and I'm gonna pop that in that space. It's very pretty. Ooh. That's so pretty. It's like a sort of darker kind of rose gold. It's so nice. Gonna take my pencil brush with the dark shade and just go over those edges. Same with this one. Just blend that into the mattes. That just looks so nice. That shade is very beautiful. I'm just gonna top it up with my finger as well, just to really intensify it over the front here. Wow. I think in the pan it looks a little bit like, not boring, but it just doesn't look like it's gonna be like this, you know? For a little pop on the lower lash line, I am gonna use the shade Bless, which is the like hot pink. Just find a brush to do it with. So just picking that up on a little brush, and I might just spray it, just so hopefully I don't get too much fallout. And that's just gonna go under here as just an extra little pop. Well, that's like a pink with a blue, like a dark blue reflect. That's really cool. When I do like shimmers on my lower lash line like this, I quite like to pull it down here just so you can really see it, because my lower lash line is very, I've got a lot of folds under my eyes, so it's quite nice to just pull it down there so you can really see it. And then I'm going to take the shade Snowman, which is this one here, and that is going to go in my inner corners. And then that brings like a little bit of the green element into the look as well. Okay, so that is the eyeshadow done. I'm going to quickly nip off camera. I'm going to do some eyeliner, my mascara, something on my lips, and then we can look at the finished look. Here's look number one all put together. What do you think? I really like it. I think it's really pretty. I especially really like that like pinky purple pop in the lower lash line. I think it's really cool. It's really contrasty, which is something that I like a lot in my eyeshadow looks, is to create a lot of contrast. I feel like it creates a lot of drama without necessarily having to be too dark and smoky, but I do think this look is dark and smoky. But yeah, it's nice. I don't always go for tones like this on me, you know guys, that I usually go for like a blue or a green, but I do feel like this is really pretty, really pretty. To finish it off, I used Cotton Candy from Beauty Bay in my waterline, just as like to brighten my eyes but keep the like pinky kind of red theme going on that we've got happening. My mascara is the e.l.f. Big Mood Mascara in Waterproof. I still don't really like this. I'm waiting for it to get a bit gunkier because it's just right now not really doing much for my lashes, but I don't have another mascara, so we're just going with it. And then for my lips, I used Kaleidos Dune, which is like a pinky, mauvey kind of nude, just to go with all of this. But yeah, that is it for look number one. Let's move on to look number two. Hi, welcome to look number two. For this look, I want to do smoky greens, and I think I want to do like a matte kind of smoky look, like one where you go like dark to light on the lid, like a proper kind of traditional smoky eye, but with greens. is my plan. So I'm gonna start with the shade Christmas Tree, which is this one here, and I'm literally just gonna like pack that all over the lid because I want this to be the main focus. I'm just gonna put this all over the lid. I'm gonna start sort of like dusting over the edges so it makes it easier to blend out. I just think this green is such a lovely shade, like it's such a nice tone of green, like a dark sort of tealy foresty kind of green. It's just nice. And then to blend that shade out, I'm gonna use the shade New Leaf, which is this one up here. So we're kind of keeping it on that like tealy kind of realm. So I'm just gonna start to buff and blend, and if I need to kind of mix the two shades together to create like an in-betweeny shade to help blending, then I will, but right now it looks like we might be okay. I love these kinds of looks because they're so effective and so easy, because it's literally just like smoking out a shade on the lid, like, but because it's a colour, like it just makes it so much more interesting than doing, like, obviously it looks stunning if it's a brown, but like doing with this with like, again, like this shade or like a burgundy or like a dark navy blue, like stunning and so simple. I'm just gonna top up that Christmas tree shade on the lid and just dust it into that matte. That's pretty much where I want to leave the lid. I want to do a smoky shimmery lower lash line, so I'm going to use the shade New Year, which is the dark green. I'm going to start by popping down the shade Christmas Tree, so the one that we've got all over the lid. I'm just going to pop that just as like a base and then blend that out with the fluffy brush. Then I'm going to take a little pencil brush and I'm going to pick up the shade New Year, and that's going to go all underneath this lower lash line. And then I'm just going to take my big fluffy brush again and just smoke that down. I think that looks so pretty. I know it's very simple, but I think it's very effective. I'm very tempted to tap a little bit of snowman across the lid because that's what I've been doing on the daily with the brown, and I want to see how it looks over the green. So I am going to do that just like for the tiniest hint of sparkle across the lid, but you could definitely just leave it like this as the matte smoky eye. It does look really cool. But yeah, I'm just going to take a little bit of snowman, which is this one here. I'm literally just going to like press my finger in it, and then I'm just going to tap across the lid. Whoa, this shade is so amazing, like it's so transformative. That is so pretty. And then I'm just gonna take my brush that I had the dark green on, and I'm just gonna kind of pat it over the top just to bring down some of the sparkle a little bit, just so it's not as intense. I kind of want it to look like glossy rather than sparkly, I guess. So I'm just gonna blend over all the edges. Oh, just look at that little twinkle. That is so pretty. I'm gonna pop the shade Elf Wish in my inner corners just for a little bit of extra pizzazz. And this shade is like molten metal, so you barely have to dip into it and you barely have to do anything to apply it. So, I mean, you literally just watch me do that. Like I just like tapped in the pan and tapped on my eyes, and look at that. So stunning. It's the multi-chrome in the palette, and I love it for an inner corner, like an inner corner pop. I think it looks really cool. That is it. That is what I'm going to do for this look. I'm going to quickly go and pop in an eyeliner and pop on a lipstick, and then I'll be back. Okay, and then here is look number 2 all put together. I think this is so pretty. I think it looks nicer in real life than it is on camera as well. Like, there's something about it on camera that's just putting me off. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I think it's so pretty. It's so, like, smoky and simple, but I think it's super effective. These are the kinds of looks that I love wearing, like, every day. Like, this was so quick. I think I did this in, like, I want to say, like, there was, like, 7 or 8 minutes of footage maybe, and I just think it's so pretty. It's so effective, and having that pop of the multi-chrome in the inner corners I think is really cool as well. To finish it off, I used the shade Minted in my waterline, and again the same mascara, and then Sienna from Kaleidos for a nice, like, throwing it everywhere, for a nice brownie nude. But yeah, that is it for this look. Let's move on to the third and final look. Okay, it's time for look number 3, and I just know I want to use matcha cookies. Like, I want to use this shade so bad, and from there, not sure. Excuse my janky blush. This is, I've done many looks today, many looks. So I'm going to take matcha cookies on a nice big fluffy brush, and I'm going to start popping this through my crease, and I think I'm going to wing it out because my other looks have been quite rounded so far. So I'm going to pull this out here and just blend it up. It's just such a, I just love a murky green. It's like a lime green, but murkier. Just taking this under my lower lash line too. Now I want to try and deepen this up with hot cocoa, because I don't necessarily want it to go down like the tealy route, and that's what the dark green is in the palette. So I'm going to try hot cocoa, which is this one, and then if it doesn't go very well, I can always go over it with the black and see how that works. But I'm going to pop this in the outer corners, just using a little pencil brush, just to get that sort of, I'm going to do like quite a defined winged shape with this shade, and then I'll blend it into the green. But right now I'm just going to focus on doing that kind of wing, and then I'm just going to take my bigger brush, just gonna blend over the edges a little bit. Okay, I like where this is going, I think. And I wanted to do this combination because I want to use the multi-chrome that's in this palette because it's like a red to green. So I kind of felt like this would complement it really well. I might still take just like the tiniest bit of black just for the very outer corners, just in here, just to give that little bit of depth. I don't know if you can tell a difference there, but it does just deepen it up like the tiniest bit. Now I'm taking some of the NYX glitter primer and I'm gonna pop this on my lid, and I basically want to bring the multi-chrome up to here so it all joins and creates like a wing here, so that becomes one big wing. So I'm going into the shade Elf Wish, which is this one here, which is the multi-chrome, obviously, as I keep saying. I'm going to take that on my brush and I'm going to pop that on. Whoa, that is like intense, like red to green. Just gonna pat into here so it goes into the wing. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but it goes on like metal, like it's so smooth and like pigmented. It's not like glittery, it's very, well, it is glitter, like it's very sparkly, but it's just so smooth. It feels like putting on a liquid eyeshadow. That is what it feels like when I put on this. Like the multi-chromes in both palettes, it's like liquid eyeshadow. Wow. I mean, I guess if you see when you look at the shade in the pan, like this, that's like a lime green, right? And then when it's on the eyes, look, it's like an orange. It's like an orange to a lime green. It's so pretty. I'm gonna take a little bit on my finger just to intensify it even more. Wow. I think that looks really cool. I'm gonna take a little bit more of hot cocoa just to intensify this wing. And then I think on the lower lash line, I'm gonna intensify that first shade we used a little bit more. And then I want to put Jingle Bell in the front. So I'm just taking a more like stubby brush and I'm going into Matcha Cookies again and just intensifying that down here, just so we don't lose that green. And then I'm going to take the shade Jingle Bell, which is this one here. It's like an olivey kind of greeny shade, and that's just going to go in here. And that does go with this so nicely. And then I think on the inner corners, I've got two shades I haven't used yet. I've got Santa Star or All Right. So this one or this one. I think I'm gonna go for Santa Star. Although there is orange, like orangey red in this multi-chrome. No, I'm gonna go for Santa Star because that is so nice. I'm just gonna like press that in there. Ooh, bright pop of gold. And that is the look. I think it's so cool. It's not like, it's bold, but I think because all the attention is like in that wing, it doesn't look too intense. It's nice. I'm gonna go and put on an eyeliner, some lipstick, and then we can chat. Okay, and here is the end of look number 3. What do you think? I ended up putting in the eyeliner Coffee from Beauty Bay to just make it like quite smoky, which isn't something I usually do. I usually go for like a pale waterline liner to like really open up my eyes, but I think because it's like a winged shape, it looks really cool. And my lipstick is Rich Sienna from Cash Beauty. And yeah, I think this is really cool. I really like it. I think I could have gone in a more sort of not boring, but very standard for me kind of direction of doing like, you know, sort of winged with a cut crease, like just all the greens. But I just really wanted to see what this multi-chrome looks like because I've only ever used it in my inner corners and I think it is stunning. Anyway, those are my 3 looks. Let's zoom out and we can chat about this palette. And there we go. Those are my 3 looks with the Merry Christmas palette from Oden's Eye. You'll have to tell me which look was your favourite. I don't know which look is my favourite. I did really like the second look. I thought that was really pretty, but I do also think this is really cool. So, and I mean, I like all of them. Formulation wise, I think this is exactly the same as the Christmas Eve palette. I had absolutely no problems working with this at all. The mattes blended so easily, so quickly. They are buildable, and I had absolutely no issues. Same with the Christmas Eve palette. I do think there are multiple formulations in here for the shimmers. So obviously you have your multi-chrome, and then Santa Star and Snowman are that kind of like could be a pressed glitter but aren't. That sort of like really piecey kind of thick like shimmer, like that's how those are. And then the rest are more of like standard shimmer formulas, but they are like stunning. They are absolutely gorgeous. I do find this color story very inspiring. Like I feel like there's so much you can do with it, and I hope I kind of did give some inspiration towards that of like different things you can do with this palette. But overall, I would definitely say that the Christmas Eve is just more my jam. I feel like this palette is really good for like warm, cozy, autumnal looks, you know, those greens and the reds. I think that's really good for that. But the Christmas Eve just has my heart because of the cool tones and the blue and the purples. Like that is just like what I love to wear. There you go, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, that'd be really cool. And as always, eat good, drink good, take care of yourself, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.